Hey you guys, we're back with another quick harvest video. As you can see behind me, the weather is starting to turn and we are expecting really bad weather and storms for the next 3 days. So I figured rather do this now before we lose our harvest. So I'm actually at our eggplant and I just have to show you this, you guys. So I somehow have magically done this again. So if you have already seen our sweet potato video where I accidentally grew 4 massive ones instead of a whole bunch of little ones, well, that's kind of happening again. Interestingly though, this is the same bed that the sweet potatoes were in. So let's quickly take you through what it is that I actually put in this bed in the first place. So the first layer, we've got some cardboard. Then I put in some sticks that I just collected from the garden. I've got some grass clippings that had dried out. And then we just topped it up with some good potting mix and compost. I guess you could say it was a bit of a hugel culture inspired garden bed, but it's been working a treat. The only thing I have done differently since the sweet potatoes is actually just topped it up with some chicken and cow manure, and well, it is working. We have had way more eggplants from this bush than the two of us can actually eat. We have calculated today that we've probably given away about a good 10 to neighbors and friends. So, and we've obviously eaten a bunch ourselves, and I'm a bit sick to death of eggplant. Neither of us actually really eat it that much, so we're running out of creative ways on how to eat it. I have done eggplant parmesan, we've done some fried things, we've put it in sort of spaghetti bolognese, curries. I feel like I've exhausted all the options. All right, I thought I will just take you through some of the care and maintenance we've done with this before we pick some. So I have pruned it back quite a bit because, as I said, we're getting a bit sick of eggplant. It's starting to take over and I just went a bit wild. So it doesn't look as impressive today, but believe me, one plant was way more than enough for the two of us. If you are a big lover of eggplant, maybe go with 2, but depending how many obviously in your family. We actually planted this way too early. So we planted it, I think, around November last year. We're now currently in July, and only in the last sort of 2 or 3 months has it actually given us a lot of fruit. It is honestly the gift that keeps on giving. Now, before I knew any better, I went to the local nursery and I asked them what could I do. Now, one of them, by the way, told me that it was not the right season, just to add. They did, however, recommend some of this. So it's just black marble, tomato and vegetable food, and that's all I have been putting in every sort of couple of weeks. I've actually neglected it recently, if I'm honest. I have on the occasion put some sea salt, so a good seaweed solution, but you do have to be a bit careful because obviously that just makes the foliage amazing and then not so much fruit. So the only thing that's different is I've got a really thick layer of mulch, and that is due to the fact that eggplants like to be moist but obviously not very wet. So just to help retain that moisture. I'm not entirely sure as to whether you need to actually support the eggplant, but as you can tell, this has gotten really thick and woody because we've had it in this bed for so long. It started drooping, so we have put in just some temporary trellises. Okay, so before the weather hits and completely drowns out the produce and everything goes rotten, which has happened to us before, I'm going to pick the last bit of eggplant that's on here. Oh my word, look at this massive eggplant. And it is beautiful in color. So I think typically you wouldn't want to leave them this long. I think this one's probably going to need to be soaked in some salt water just to take some of that bitterness out. But seriously, like, that is huge. All right, there are some more to go. So not a bad one, really good size, not as dark. Probably could have left it on there a bit longer, but I'm just seriously worried with that weather coming. Really good size too. one on here that's really little. So this one is a bit small still, and I may just take that chance and leave it. It's a bit protected. I think we've just got one more hiding. So he's been stung a bit. I'm not sure by what, but he'll still be good to eat. We've had that happen before and I just chop it off, so there's no wastage here if we can help it. Alright, I think that is the last of them. While this may not seem seriously impressive today, as I mentioned, I have trimmed and pruned this quite a bit. I don't think it's actually necessary, it's just that I wanted to. So let's take a look at the 4 that we managed to pick today. Not a bad haul. I mean, look at that difference in size. That is crazy. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed another wacky, massive harvest from me. Let me know how you guys eat eggplant, because we're actually really struggling to find creative ways to get through it, because at the moment I'm kind of deciding whether to actually plant this again next year or not. I mean, it is seriously such a good provider, but there's only so much of it I can eat.